Another add-on you have been requesting for me to review is the XP storage add-on, created by Snail Studios. This add-on is priced at 660 Minecraft coins. That's £3.29. It's roughly $4. According to the creators, this add-on is more than just storing your XP. You can actually combine this with spawners and your mob farms. Once you have this add-on installed, you'll be given a guidebook. This is the XP storage tutorial book. This is something that you have to place on the ground. To go to the next page, just hit right click. To break this and pick it up, just hit left click. One of the main tools you're going to need throughout this add-on is going to be a wrench. It's made with 2 iron blocks and 2 iron ingots. So this is going to be your interaction tool. Tap on a crafting table and get this made. I recommend making more, but honestly, I think the creators of this add-on need to slightly alter a couple of things. Next, let's make our first XP storage. It requires 8 iron blocks and 1 piece of glass. So let's grab the needed ingredients here. Let's open up a crafting table, tap on this, and it's going to make the iron XP storage. This can just be placed on the ground. In doing so, it actually tells you that it stores up to 30 levels. So obviously, if you have a ton of levels, what you want to do is stand on top of this, go ahead and crouch. And by doing this, you'll see that your XP is starting to be transferred. It's a really cool system, and I actually like this. But things get a little bit more complicated after this. Now, once your XP storage is full, you can't crouch and input anymore. Using your wrench, tap on this, and you can see it tells you how many you have stored. You can collect them. Now, you can collect this at any point. If you wanted to only drop off, I don't know, let's say this much, 14, you can also collect 14. So at this point, yeah, it's a pretty good add-on. But like I said, things get a little bit more complicated and very expensive. I'm actually curious. I do want to check one thing, and that is what happens if you break this when it's full. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Your XP is actually stored, so you could take this with you. So that's a pretty cool feature. Moving on to the next XP storage. You are going to need one of these for the gold version. Now, things will start to get a little bit more expensive. This recipe isn't too complicated. It requires some diamonds, it requires some gold blocks, and it requires an iron storage. This one is the exact same, but it just lets you store up to 60. So, obviously, for long-term worlds, the more XP you have, you're going to be able to store larger quantities of this. And I think XP storage should already be a thing in Minecraft. Once this gets full, you're not going to be able to store anymore. It will stop just like before, can be broken and placed down. You can tap on this with a wrench. However, you have to be on top of this in order to actually collect your things. You can't just stand here, which to me is a really weird inconvenience. Anyways, stand on it, collect all. The next recipe is going to require 2 of these. But it gets so expensive. I feel like most people won't use this one. I feel like this one, in fact, even this one, is perfectly fine. There is a netherite version, but do they know how long it would take you to get this many netherite blocks? And to go ahead and waste them on this, to me, just seems really counterproductive. You also need to get 2 diamond blocks and a nether star, and obviously 2 of these. So you need that recipe twice, and then this one. So I hope that they make some changes with this. But this does store a lot more. This one stores 100. I actually think this needs to store like 1,000. Because I would rather go ahead and just make 2 of these. In fact, 20 of these compared to 1 of these. So this one's just way too expensive. But again, place it down if you've got tons of levels. I think they need to make an option where you can turn off the sounds. But yeah, this does store a lot of your experience points. Once you've learned everything about the XP storage system, it's now time to learn about the grinders. once again, comes in various different styles. You have the iron grinder, gold grinder, and the netherite one. Once again, I feel like the netherite one is just a little bit too expensive. So let's just make the basic one. I think in terms of what they offer is going to be how powerful they are. So let's just make this one. Now, if I go ahead and just place this down, let's say next to a mob, it doesn't actually do anything. This needs to be combined with something else. But I will go ahead and show you the different designs here. So like I said, there's 3 different designs, being iron, being gold, and also being netherite. On the next page, it says how to use the grinder. You must place them within 100 blocks of a smart spawner. You are limited to 6 grinders, so use them wisely. The next part of the add-on teaches you about fans. I'm going to skip this for now, and we're going to move to these smart spawners. This is how you make them. They're not too complicated. So, you need a smart spawner in order for these to actually work. So I thought that this was going to be an enhancement on vanilla Minecraft. I think you can combine this with vanilla, but the main aspect of this add-on actually isn't. So if I was to go ahead and place these down on the ground right now, like this, and I place down these, nothing happens at all, right? So what we're going to do now is go ahead and break these. We're now going to place down the smart spawner. It's going to make a noise. Going to get rid of you. Place these back down, and then place these on top. When this is in the range, these become active. I actually don't like that. So let me teach you all about these fans. Underneath the diagram, I mean, they literally say blow nearby mobs away. They could have wrote something a little bit different. How to use. You must place them within 100 blocks of the smart spawner. You are limited to 6 fans, so use them wisely. So let's grab this. We're also going to need the smart spawner. And here is a basic diagram. So we're going to go ahead and just break the one I had previously. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. If you've already placed one down, they can become a problem. So let's place this down here. We can only use a total of, I think they said 6 of these, right? So if you place another one, it's like, hey, you can't use this. I think 4, even 3 is perfectly fine. Now, obviously, make sure it's made a noise. At this point, you're probably best off placing down these, which we've just done. I'm going to place 2 of each one because you cannot place an extra one. After that, you are then going to need one of these storage systems. We're just going to use a basic iron one. Place it behind. Make sure it does this. You can then tap on this. Now, interestingly enough, each one is designed for specific mobs, right? So for the sake of this, I'm going to use skeletons, turn it on, and hit submit. Do /time set midnight /effect at P 110. Sorry, /effect at P night vision, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to go with this real quick. So this is now active, and this should spawn skeletons, and it will. And it'll take quite some time. It's nowhere near as good or as fast as a general spawner, but they will die, and their XP will eventually go inside of there. You are able to crouch on this. It will show you the amount of XP that's inside of there, but it just takes forever. Like, you can change this to any mob inside of here, but let's say we went ahead and broke this one, and we went with this one. If we tap on this, this one's going to support Witch, Slime, Guardian, Zombie, Pigman, Creeper, Iron Golem. It will actually spawn all of those mobs. So it's a little bit overpowered. The start is really good. The storage system side is actually really, really impressive. This just became really overcomplicated and expensive. You can even use a netherite one. This is going to do with the skeletons, blaze, or in fact, a pillager raid. I think the best option, honestly, is probably the gold one again. I think the gold one in this has been the best value for everything. I'm going to go with a witch on this occasion. So, yeah, just a little bit inconvenient. While this does this, though, what I will do is I'll grab some... Let's just grab some witches since we're using the witch here. let's go ahead and spawn a whole bunch of these. They are going to die. And they will fill this up. So as you can see, the mobs... Are they starting to fill it up? I'm not entirely sure if they're actually filling that one up. Let's just double check on this. I mean, kind of. Maybe this should be in a better position. But what I'll do is I'll just keep doing this. See if it spawns any more. See if it stores any of the XP real quick. Now, I actually don't think that's storing it. So it's... I mean, it did. It does. I think the best way then would probably be iron. Because with the iron one, I can use skeletons. Make sure you have, like, turn on, by the way. Otherwise, it might not work. That might have been my problem. Let's grab a skeleton spawn egg here, and we'll just spawn the skeletons. See if the XP is going to be storage, because this one only stores up to 30 here. I can't really tell. They're just dying. There we go. Finally starting to store a little bit of the XP there. Obviously, at this point... Oh, they spawned on their own for once. It's just very infrequent to spawn. You'd stand on this, then you'd do collect all, hit submit, and you would be given the XP. It's just really overcomplicated. One more thing you're able to make in this is going to be an XP shower. Here is the needed recipe, so let's get this made. You're also going to need a wrench. Again, I think needing a wrench for absolutely everything is an inconvenience in this. So, for example, let's say on this, you have to place this underneath. You have to stand underneath and tap on it and click on drop levels. It's pretty cool, but why do we have to use the wrench for everything? I don't want to have to take an extra item with me, but you can see here it's going to drop the experience for you. I don't know why it says just drop one level. Why couldn't we drop more levels? Why is there not more options like 1 level, 10 level, 20 levels, 30? As many levels as you would desire. So although it looked really good in the promotional thumbnail art for this add-on, it's not really useful. I was generally hoping that this add-on was going to be tied with vanilla spawners. I think you can, but you have to still use some of the other stuff in terms of storing your XP. So for this, I would be like, okay, let's stick a whole bunch of these here. The fans up there are interfering with this. I should be able to make as many fans as I desire. Now, you can see here, that works, right? It pushes them straight to here. So, obviously, at this point, I'd want to be able to place these down and do damage to them. But you can see it's not doing any damage because you're going to need a smart spawner still. And I can't alter anything with that because it's above this. Anyway, these are just going to keep spawning. But you can see it's not doing any damage there. I might actually need to get myself one of these. But again, everything just seems so complicated. More complicated than it ever needed to be. So I went ahead and broke the previous spawners. So let's place these down here. Obviously, it's going to push them over there. Let's make these, for example. I don't know if the XP storage has to be behind it, but for the sake of this, I want to try and put this in a different area. I'm going to actually change the grinders to this one to see if there's obviously... This should kill them a lot faster, I think, because this is a lot stronger. I don't know if this actually became active. It did. So I'm going to turn this on and submit. So you could kind of double this up, I guess, because I've got the skeletons down below. And I've got the regular zombies, so at least it's going to kill them as well. So you could combine this. Yeah, you could. But it's just, I don't know. The add-on just doesn't seem the way I was expecting it to be. Especially the non-vanilla mobs spawning way too infrequently. There you go. Skeletons spawn there. So you could double this up as a double spawner. Let's see if this is actually generating. So yes, there is some XP there. I'm not sure which gives you more in terms of XP. Is it a zombie pigman or a guardian? But you could literally gain so much experience from this. I'm using a zombie pigman, for example. There you go. They finally decided to start spawning. So you won't gain any XP as a player. It's just going to go directly into this one. So like I said at the start, the gold one seems to be the best value for money. Anyway, guys, final opinions. I think the storage side of things is really impressive, apart from the stupidly overpriced netherite version. The storage system is good. The whole spawner system is not. If you already have the crystal bank storage system, I don't think you need this add-on. But yeah, this one was really good, and I kind of liked how these work. Besides that, yeah, I guess it's just an okay add-on.